Okay, we're actually going to have a go at putting the actual Strimmer spool unit on. It's pretty nifty actually. The actual spark plug spanner doubles up as the spanner to use to undo this locking bolt on the end here. Although the whole unit appears to actually be spinning, so yeah, it's not so fantastic. Okay, we got it now. There's a hole here in this plate, and then another hole in this plate, and then a hole in the actual drive unit there, which you got to use your Allen key to lock it off. Right. Okay, we're making progress now. Got to try and make some sense of the instruction manual, but yeah, that is what it tells you to do. Right, not exactly entirely sure what I'm supposed to now do with all of these pieces, but hopefully we're going to have a picture in there somewhere that shows us what to do. Okay, we read the instructions several times there, and I think I got the gist of what it means. So you've got this disc here, that washer, this what they call the top of a bicycle bell in the instruction manual, and then obviously the nut itself. You remove the nut and you remove this top part of this bicycle bell, so they call it. The other pieces you leave in place. Obviously that's going to keep grass and crud out of here, I should imagine, and you'll want the washer on there as well, I should think. So yeah, now I think we can go ahead and place the actual spool on there. So let's see if we can get this to thread on. Okay. Right. I'm guessing that's going to need to be pretty damn tight to keep it on there nicely. Yeah, let's have a look. Right, well, that's got that. That's not too bad. The actual locking system there works pretty well. Yeah. Pull that out now and just remove this rubber cap off the end as well, and just make sure it spins nice and freely. See that getting pretty annoying though. Doesn't really lock that cover down very nicely. There's nothing to keep that in place. So that's a little annoying. But yeah, for the best part, seems pretty good. Obviously it's not oiled, it's not been run at all, so yeah, that doesn't look too bad. That seems to have gone on there relatively nicely. So far, so good. Now we just need to keep these pieces safe. They're obviously for the brush cutting attachment, so they don't look too bad. That nut looks pretty good. Nylon locking nut. So yeah, that's not too bad. And pretty impressed with that little spark plug tool so far. It's done its job. So we finally found out what the hell this thing is. It's basically like a screwdriver-y sort of thing. How on earth they ever thought that was going to do anything, I do not know, but apparently it's going to come in handy soon, so we'll see. Okay, so we're ready to fit the shield here, the guard. Let's see how this goes. All the tools are pretty good until you get to this horrendous spanner, which is just so poorly made. It's just not the right size for these bolts at all, so when I need to nip those up tight, I'm probably going to have to get one of my own out of the workshop. Yeah, we can have this fully adjustable here. I think I'll put it on its closest setting. Doesn't appear to be any washers there. Pretty sure they're probably... yeah, hang on a minute. Yeah, we've got... Yeah, we've got washers on the opposite sides here. Just not that they actually want to come off. Yeah, those washers don't actually want to come off the bolts. Well, that's really useful. We're going to want some washers there. Okay, well that's the Strimmer unit assembled. Not too bad. Looks pretty decent. The guard looks pretty good. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, seems pretty good. That ought to be fine. Right, well that's the fully assembled Strimmer. So this is quite a beefy thing. The actual attachments slide in and out easy enough. A little bit of faffing getting used to it. Obviously you've got to sort of obviously undo that. Then there's a catch in here to push down. And then they just sort of twist off. It's a little bit of a palaver, but it's not too bad. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Some people obviously weren't pushing that little tab down. But yeah, she's not bad. I can see it being a useful little bit of kit. They connect together much better than they pull apart. Got to make sure you have that nice and tightly done up because it is liable to spin a little bit in the shaft. But yeah, it looks pretty good actually. Obviously we to actually start her up. The pressure seems okay. Yeah, everything looks fairly decent. Spark plug. Looks like a normal little Strimmer type. Right, well there you go. That's the complete unit. That is everything you get in the box. The Strimmer is all assembled. I'm just gonna, before I run it, I'm just gonna check and double check bolts and screws and things to make sure they're all tight. That's something you really should do when you're buying something that's come from overseas. They're not big on how carefully they put stuff together over there, especially when it's cheaper stuff. But yeah, so far it looks fine. So far I would recommend buying one of these. I mean, everything's of pretty good quality so far. Everything slots together as it should. Everything screws and bolts together as it should. The brush cutter blade looks nice and strong. The extension pole looks good. The hedge cutter looks good. Really nice wide cut on those. The chainsaw looks good. And pretty minimal assembly required. I mean, all he had to do was put this handle on, put the guard, and obviously the Strimmer spool on there. That didn't take too long. We had to put the pole on the chainsaw. That's just a matter of finding the right end of the pole. Yeah, even that was pretty straightforward. We've greased everything. It doesn't tell you to do that in the manual, but there are greasing nipples on the chainsaw attachment and on the hedge cutter attachment, and I've also squirted some grease into the Strimmer's gearbox there. So yeah, it should be pretty good to go. I mean, the engine seems fine. I haven't actually tested for spark yet, but if it starts, it starts. If it doesn't, then we'll start addressing things. But yeah, obviously it's pretty good. The toolkit is pretty good. I mean, it's all cheap stuff, but the Allen keys are nice. They fit the bolts properly. The little spark plug wrench doubles up as a little box wrench for some of the bigger bolts on the machine. Yeah, it's pretty good. The spanner in there though is diabolical, so you want to get yourself a decent 8 and 10mm combination open-ended spanner, but that is about it really. Everything else in that toolkit's pretty good. You get a fuel mixing bottle with it. I mean, what more can you ask for? It was £189.99, which is the most expensive thing I have ever bought. But yeah, if it's no good, I send it back and get a refund. But I have a funny feeling she's going to be alright. Okay, well, there you go. stay tuned for part 3, and we'll finally fire this thing up. Oh, I forgot to mention, another good thing is when a couple of the bits are assembled, you get a couple of these spare rubber buns for the ends, so if you lose one, you're always going to have at least one spare. So yeah, it's pretty good, not bad. I'm going to, well, hopefully, providing it goes okay and we don't have any problems, I'm going to make a little rack that everything can sit on in the garage. You know, you can just hook everything on and have it all in one place, nice and neat. Yeah, then we should be fine. Yeah, I got a good feeling. I think it's going to be okay.